Landfall in Louisiana as a Category 4.
This is one of the strongest storms to make landfall here in modern times.
Ida tracked over the weekend by hurricane experts in South Florida. President Biden there as the remains of service members killed in Afghanistan.
13 fallen heroes in Afghanistan who lost their lives in the service of our country
Are transferred to the U.S. And health officials are pushing more people to get vaccinated.
What is going on now is both entirely predictable but entirely preventable.
As the COVID-19 surge continues nationwide. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Danelle Dukin.
And I'm Zitlali Solache. Today is Monday, August 30th, 2021.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Well, also Cat 4. Ida storming ashore in Louisiana, packing winds even stronger than Hurricane Katrina's.
Louisiana and parts of Mississippi and Alabama feeling the impact of now Tropical Storm Ida this morning.
The network's Christopher Gomez reports on the storm and how Miami-Dade is helping mitigate the damage.
Well, that's right, guys. Hurricane Ida made landfall yesterday night on the coast of New Orleans with a very high storm surge and strong winds, forcing many Louisianians to evacuate.
The threat isn't over.
Hurricane Ida slamming into Louisiana as a Category 4 storm Sunday.
When you have Mother Nature throw at you a storm this strong with the surge, the wind, the rain that we're talking about with Hurricane Ida, there's going to be devastating impacts.
The National Weather Service warning that some parts of southeast Louisiana may be uninhabitable for weeks.
This is a devastating hurricane. It's going to have catastrophic impact.
Widespread power outages adding to the danger.
Some of the lines can be restored in shorter order, and then advising us that maybe it'll be a few days, but it could be a matter of weeks.
As officials begin to assess the devastation, many believe the situation could be dire for those that stayed behind.
The water is rising. People are in their homes, and we're getting reports of people with water up to their chest. They're asking to be rescued. So very, very dire situation, and we just can't get out yet.
The rescue effort is set to begin soon as Miami-Dade's very own Task Force 1 has been dispatched to one of the impact sites in Alabama. Officials say this is one of the most intense storms in the history of Louisiana, possibly bringing even more damage than Hurricane Katrina. We'll make sure to keep you guys updated with the latest on the hurricane. Reporting at the National Hurricane Center in Southwest Miami-Dade, I'm Christopher Gomez, South Florida Media Network.
President Biden attended the dignified transfer of the 13 service members killed in Afghanistan on Sunday. The network's Alejandra Garcia is in the control center on the aftermath of last week's suicide attacks in Kabul.
The 13 service members killed in last week's bombing in Kabul are brought back to Dover Air Force Base on Sunday as President Joe Biden attends his first dignified transfer since he took office.
13 flag-draped cases carrying the remains of the service members killed in a terror attack outside the Kabul airport gates were returned to the U.S. Sunday. 11 of the service members were Marines, 1 was an Army soldier, and 1 was a Navy corpsman. Their ages ranged from 20-year-old to 31.
It's just tragic that all of these young military folks lost their life at such a young age, but they will always remain at that age. To the family members and to the friends, that's one of the harshest parts of the loss and the grievance and the starting of the phases of grief.
These were the first U.S. troops killed in an aggressive manner in Afghanistan since February 2020.
We know inherently that war unfortunately causes the loss of life and the sacrifices, but a ceremony like this just really drives all that home.
After leaving Dover, President Biden acknowledged the late service members while at FEMA headquarters to receive a briefing on Hurricane Ida.
Met with the families of 13 fallen heroes in Afghanistan who lost their lives in the service of our country, and while we're praying for the best in Louisiana, let's keep them in our prayers as well.
The U.S., along with other countries, released a joint statement saying they expect the Taliban to allow safe travel out of the country. As time ticks away for the U.S. troops to depart Afghanistan, violence is escalating. In the Control Center, Alejandra Garcia, South Florida Media Network.
The desire to return to a new normal this fall seems to be crumbling fast. In all 50 states, hospitalizations are up. And in the South, some places are experiencing a shortage of oxygen. Dr. Anthony Fauci says there are about 80 million Americans who are eligible to get vaccinated but have yet to receive it.
What's going on now is both entirely predictable but entirely preventable. It's so important now in this crisis that we're in that people put aside any ideologic, political, or other differences and just get vaccinated.
According to the CDC, all states nationwide have a high rate of transmission for COVID-19, while just half of the U.S. and Washington, D.C. have at least half of their population fully vaccinated.
This morning, Miami Dolphins fans celebrate the incredible victory the team had in the last preseason game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Starting quarterback Tua Tagovailoa getting the day off. That means it was up to the third-string QB Reed Sinnett to throw the winning touchdown on 4th and 15 with the game on the line. The Dolphins begin the regular season September 12th in New England.
Drama surrounding the release of Kanye West's new album.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
I turned him over and assessed him and realized that his pulse was weak and thready.
Plus, a Florida nurse and deputy taking quick action on campus after a student has a heart attack. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantore here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Whether it be sports, music, or art, we're all good at different things. But when it comes to texting and driving, no one's good at that.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
Baby. Take a breath. Take a breath, baby. Take a breath, baby.
Schoolhouse heroes, a nurse and a deputy in Florida teaming up to save a student's life. A Florida high school student is back on campus like nothing happened after collapsing last week.
This took place last Tuesday around 3 p.m. at a school near Tampa. A nurse and deputy began performing life-saving CPR when the nurse recognized he wasn't breathing.
He had what I was trained as agonal breathing, so it looked like he was breathing. It looked like his eyes are open. It would appear like he was responding to the nurse's, chest sternum rubs, but the reality is he wasn't. He was out. He was done, and that's what the AED told us. The AED provided a shock, and then it said CPR. So we just did CPR until EMS arrived.
The school is equipped with an AED device, but both the nurse and the deputy say it was their first time ever using it outside of their training. They are both being praised for using the training and saving the teen's life, as he was in cardiac arrest. A sheriff in the county says everyone is grateful that the young man made it back home to his family.
This past weekend was exciting for Kanye West fans as the rapper released his new studio album, Donda, yesterday. 27 tracks are available on Spotify with songs featuring Jay-Z, Travis Scott, The Weeknd, and others. Shortly after this much-delayed release, West claimed his label, Universal Music Group, released the album without his approval.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Danelle Dukin.
And I'm Zitlali Solache. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.